Here's the science behind the power of intermittent fasting. We're going to be doing a scientific breakdown. First off, welcome back to the channel. I'm Professor Mike. Today we're diving deep into the details of intermittent fasting, also known as IF. And we're going to be stripping away all the myths to unveil the scientific truths that can amplify your health transformation and your health journey. Okay, first things first. What the heck is IF, or intermittent fasting? So the key concept. IF really isn't about what you eat, but really when you eat it. It's not a calorie restriction program, it's actually a shift in meal timing. Now here's the evidence. It's distinct from those everyday fad diets because it's backed by increasing scientific research that highlights its cellular and hormonal benefits beyond just the simple weight loss. Okay, first let's talk about hormone balancing with intermittent fasting. So first is human growth hormone, or what's known as HGH. Now the role of HGH is integral for fat metabolism and muscle preservation, as well as anti-aging. All right, now here's the evidence. Multiple studies confirm its preeminent stance among fat-burning hormones. It ensures muscle protection, promotes lean muscle mass, and even enhances fat loss. So the balancing of HGH is one of the biggest benefits of intermittent fasting. Next is insulin. Now, if you didn't know, the role of insulin is to regulate blood sugars. So as you know, insulin puts sugar into the cell. Now, while insulin is essential, excess is very problematic, which promotes fat storage and even counteracting growth hormone action. So here's the evidence. Frequent eating induces an insulin spike. Even without high carbohydrate content like those sugars and sweets. Spikes in insulin levels actually leads to insulin resistance, which is a precursor to several metabolic diseases. For example, diabetes. Okay, now let's do a deep dive into insulin resistance. So here's the key concept. Insulin resistance is when cells become unresponsive to insulin. So basically, sugar hangs out inside the bloodstream and is not going into the cell, which prompts the pancreas to overproduce insulin. Now, this imbalance can spiral into obesity and even type 2 diabetes, as mentioned before. So here's the evidence. Continuous eating patterns, or basically snacking all the time, leads to blood sugar spikes, which basically means insulin spikes. So for example, high carbohydrate intake, excessive snacking, or even midnight snacking, always eating candy or even sodas, potentially raises insulin and reinforces that insulin resistance. So stop those insulin spikes by intermittent fasting, which we're going to get into the protocol later. All right, now that we've covered insulin, let's talk about eating patterns here. So the key concept is that our bodies are attuned to periods of feasting as well as fasting. Now these periods of feasting and fasting were dictated by our ancestors with erratic food access. I mean, think about it. Being a hunter and gatherer in the middle of the wilderness, you didn't really know when your next meal would come. So here's the evidence. Every meal, even a small snack, initiates that insulin response. So cutting down meals and eliminating snacks aligns more with our biological blueprint as a human being. Okay, now how exactly are you supposed to do this intermittent fasting? And what are the strategies behind it? Okay, so the protocol includes a 16-8 or a 20-4. So what is the 16-8 method? Well, it simply means we're gonna fast for 16 hours, so you're not gonna really eat anything. You're just gonna have water, black coffee, or even salt inside your water. Then you're going to eat what's known as a feeding window for about 8 hours. So I usually break my fast around 1 o'clock every day, and then I basically eat for 8 hours, and that helps me to reduce my insulin spikes and helps me to burn fat, feel more cognitively ready, and really restores my body. Now this also balances hormones, leads to insulin restoration, or basically balance, and helps with eating patterns. So here's the evidence. Prolonged fasting, especially overnight, forces the body to utilize stored fat for energy, which promotes weight loss, fat loss, and all the other cognitive benefits and hormone balancing that I just talked about. Now, another method is a 20-4 method. So this is a more intense fasting period of 20 hours. Now, when merged with HIIT, that high intensity interval training, the results can be remarkable. So here's the evidence. Longer fasting duration actually intensifies the beneficial properties of metabolic shifts, which amplifies further with exercise. So just remember, progressing through intermittent fasting stages, you're not going to want to go 16 hours fasting if you've never done it before. So I always recommend starting small. Let's do 10 hours, then build yourself up to 16 hours. And if you can, try to do the full 20. You want to prevent side effects here. Remember, rapid transitions can be overwhelming and even detrimental to your body. So respect your body and respect the adaptive nature of your body and the sustainability for safe results. So please let me know if you're ready to give it a try. Please share your results of your health journey, your befores and your afters. I emphasize that every story is a success story because you simply got started, and you deserve a celebration and even recognition. Remember, understanding the science behind why you do what you do, for example, intermittent fasting, doesn't just empower your weight loss journey. It can change your life entirely. So until our next deep dive, stay curious and let the power of knowledge guide your health endeavors. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification button for our next videos dropping this week.